October is National Plan a Cruise Month, so all of my content this month is going to focus on cruising. In this video, I'm going to talk about river cruising with kids. I know it sounds crazy because you thought river cruising was just for old people, but it's not, and I'm going to tell you why.
I'm Christina. I'm a traveler, a planner, and most importantly, a mom. I'm sharing my best tips to make traveling as a family a little less stressful. So put down your phone, pack your bags, and let's showcase the world.
River cruising is my ultimate favorite way to travel. I love the effortlessness of river cruising, and I love the immersion, and I think river cruising is the best way to travel, period. So I love to see multiple destinations. If I'm going to fly over to Europe, I want to make sure that I'm able to get the most out of my time there, but I'm not retired, so I can't take a 15-day, 23-day, 100 and something day river cruise. So I'm so grateful that 3 of the river cruise lines have seen the need to be able to offer them to families, and 3 river cruise lines have family specific itineraries. That's AMA, they partner with Adventures by Disney. There is Tauk, which has what's called Tauk Bridges. And then there's Uniworld and their family adventures. So they have a different number of itineraries depending on the cruise line. Uniworld, I know, only has 16 a year. AMA and Disney and Adventures by Disney have 60. So 16 for Uniworld and 60 for Disney. So there are tons of options out there for you on any of the rivers of Europe, and some outside of Europe as well. The ones that are probably the most popular are the Rhine, which goes from Amsterdam down to Germany. You visit 3 countries. There's the Danube, which goes from Germany through Austria to Budapest, Hungary. There is the Seine, which goes up through Normandy. It goes Paris to Paris. You visit Normandy. You visit other areas in northern France in the Burgundy region, and then there's one through southern France, which is what I did on my honeymoon. It's on the Rhone and the Saône through Provence, and all of the itineraries for families are absolutely incredible. But I'm not talking about those things today. Today I'm talking about why you would want a river cruise. If you do want to know the 5 best itineraries, the 5 best cruise lines, all of that, make sure you hit the bell right below, and you'll be first to know when those videos come up later this month. Like I said, it's Plan a Cruise Month, so we're talking about cruises all month long. The first reason I love river cruising is you can visit multiple destinations and never unpack, only unpack once. So like I said, on the Rhine, you leave from Amsterdam, you go down through the Netherlands, you visit France, you visit Germany. There's so many wonderful places you get to see, and you don't have to unpack more than once. You don't have to change hotels. You don't have to worry about getting to and from your hotel. I definitely recommend never flying in the day of a cruise. That's very risky. Never do that. You can book a hotel on your own, or you can book your hotel through the river cruise line. If you book your hotel through the river cruise line, then they will pick you up at the airport, bring you to the hotel, and bring you from the hotel to the cruise line. No additional cost. It's all included. So actually that's number 2. That's the number 2 reason I love river cruising, is it is very inclusive. So unlike if you're going to go on a land trip where you have to figure out what your hotels are going to cost, what your internal flights are going to cost, internal transportations, trains, food, all of those different things, you have to worry about all of that. You pay for your hotel in advance, you pay for your airline tickets in advance, and then you don't know what you're going to spend, and you can end up completely overblowing your budget. With a river cruise, everything is included, so you don't have to worry. Yes, it seems like a lot up front, But in many cases, you're going to end up spending less money because everything is included. All of your breakfasts and dinners on board, some of your lunches. So sometimes you will have lunch in port. If it's through a excursion, your lunch will be included. If it's on a sailing day, your lunch will be included. I would say there's 2 to 3 lunches that you would probably want to eat on your own. It could be included if you didn't leave the ship, but you want to explore and you want to have some of the local cuisine. So I'd say 2 to 3 lunches is included. Also included, if you're used to ocean cruising, I know this one's going to be a shock for you, wine and beer with dinner and with lunch, and honestly champagne with breakfast. So alcohol is included. Some include spirits. It depends on the line you're on. Some include liquor and spirits during a cocktail hour, so you only have it during that cocktail hour. Some include it all the time, so it depends on your cruise line, but wine and beer is always included. Onboard fine dining, I mentioned dining. I love eating the local food, and you might think that doing a river cruise, you're going to lose that, but you don't, because all of the menus are completely influenced by not only the region you're visiting, but the town you're visiting. So if there's a port that has a special local delicacy, that's going to be on your menu. And the chef is from the region, and they are going and they are picking items out that day from the market and serving them at dinner. And so it feels like it doesn't feel like you're eating authentic food. You are eating authentic food, and you get a chance to try them. A lot of the excursions focus on our cooking classes and things like that, where you're in a local farm and you're making things there. So you definitely still get that local dining experience. Some local meals, like those ones, are included in your excursions. You have excursions included as well. Your option of, you have like 3 or 4 to choose from each day. You can go on 1 or 2 of them. Your transportation is included. So again, they'll bring you to the airport. Your gratuities are included, your onboard programming, and bottled water. Bottled water is included. They restock your bottled water every day, and that is not included on ocean cruising, let me tell you. And bottled water is expensive in Europe. I remember when I was studying abroad in London, and we would just buy cider because the hard cider was half the price of buying the bottled water. So your kids obviously aren't drinking hard cider, so the fact that they are including your bottled water is a huge value. I mentioned the food. Even though you're eating these local foods, you don't have to worry about your picky eater, which is fantastic, because each night your menu will change. So your menu will reflect the port that you're in, and it will have 3 options. You'll have options for your appetizer, options for your dinner, and you kind of pick from that. There are always options that don't change. So even though the menu changes every night, there's a menu that has 3 options on it that never changes. There's a steak option, there's a fish option, and there's a chicken option. And on these kid-friendly itineraries, they'll make kid-friendly food. So you don't have to worry about your picky eater not eating what the local cuisine is. So I think that is a huge reason that we should river cruise with our families. The next thing I want to bring out is traveling with kids is hard. You have so much more stuff. They're not schlepping their luggage over cobblestone streets. They're not reading the signs to figure out where your train station is. They're having meltdowns on the train station because you're frustrated and you can't figure out where you're trying to go. There's so much hassle that is just taken away when you go on a river cruise. Your cruise director tries to anticipate any problems you have. If you're on AMA with Adventures by Disney, you have 2 adventure guides who go out of their way to help you with whatever you need. I know someone whose luggage got lost on an Adventures by Disney, and not on Adventures by Disney, on the airline, and the adventure guide went out with them at 10 o'clock at night to go buy underwear. So they will go above and beyond and help you with whatever you need. They will help you track down if you run out of anything your kids need. They will make sure that everything is taken care of. So the no hassle, like think about train travel, think about bus tours. Bus tours, you have like 10 minutes to shop on your own. You have language barriers, you have the luggage on cobblestone streets, you get to the airport, you don't know where to go, you don't know how far the airport is from where you need to be, you don't know how much an Uber is going to cost, is there even Uber where you are? So the hassle, the amount of hassle that is eliminated on a river cruise is one of the reasons that this is one of the best ways to travel. It's probably the number one reason this is the best way to travel as a family. I also love that the onboard programming and the excursions focus on enrichment. If you're looking at it like Mediterranean like ocean cruise, you are going to be on a ship that has bumper cars and escape rooms, and the ship is the destination. On a river cruise, the cruise ship, the river boat is not your destination, and they look at it that way. They look at it as this is your way to see these great things. They don't want to keep you on board. They don't want to make you spend money. They want to get you out there and focused on the destination. And I love that the excursions that they create is just caters to the whole family on these family specific river cruises. So if you want to really see the museum, well, they're going to balance that out with a really fun activity for the kids, whether it's a scavenger hunt in that museum, or it's a run through a maze garden, or something that's going to keep them engaged while you're able to explore the things you want to explore. If you're going to a vineyard, they're going to offer juice flights for your kids. So it's finding the way to explore what you want to explore while also keeping your kids entertained and happy and engaged. Everything is so balanced, so it feels like everybody in the family gets what they want out of the vacation. It's not you going to Paris and going to all of these museums and your kids are kicking and screaming because they don't want to go to these museums, and it's not going to a Six Flags because that's where your kids want to go. It's a beautiful balance that makes this a wonderful vacation for the whole family. The small sizes encourage family connections. You're going to meet people and become lifelong friends. There's still people that we met that we had dinner with every night on our river cruise that we sent letters to, who are up in Montana, and we absolutely fell in love with them. So there's so much that your kids get out of a river cruise. I mean, there's so many benefits to traveling with kids, and I just feel like they're upped a little bit on the river cruise because they're so focused on enrichment. You're not taking time from travel out of your touring to travel from place to place. You're not worried about getting to places and all. When you're not stressed as a parent, then your kids are less likely to they don't feel that, they don't pick up on that energy, and they're less likely to throw fits. And these people, there's so many people on board who are there to help you when they do, because they're kids, they're gonna, but there's so many people on board to help you. The one drawback is most river cruises will not allow children under 4. There are some adult river cruises that will allow any child, but they don't have the family focused itineraries. So I will get to that in another video. Make sure you subscribe. One more thing I wanted to talk about is you're not likely to experience any motion sickness. So I know that sounds silly because you're on a cruise, but my husband is extremely motion sensitive to the point where sometimes an office chair on wheels triggers his motion sickness, and he can river cruise without any Dramamine, without taking anything. He loves river cruising. he can't do guided tours. He can't do private tours when you're on a bus because he gets so sick on those buses. He can't do ocean cruises. He gets so sick. Even trains, he'll get sick on trains. So river cruising is the best way for him to travel as someone who experiences motion sickness. So it might not be your first thought. You're like, oh, I can't go on a boat. My kid has motion sickness, or my husband or I have motion sickness. I can't go on a boat. Well, at least from my husband's experience, it's one of the few places that he does not get motion sick. He gets motion sick on airplanes like crazy, but the river cruise does not bother him because it's so steady and it's flat and you're just moving at a very slow pace. Most of the time you're moving at night. So a lot of benefits. I would love to help you plan your first river cruise. Just schedule a call. I will put the link below, and I cannot wait to help you plan your 2021 and even 2022 river cruises are available for booking. I just booked my river cruise for October 2021, and I could not be more excited to get back out and traveling. So let's get you back out there as well. Let's consider a river cruise. I mean, you haven't traveled in a year. You might as well go big, right? Let's get you river cruising. So just schedule a call below, and don't forget to take a break from the busy.
Need help planning your next family vacation? Visit us at showcasetheworld.com to request a quote or schedule a free vacation consultation. Want more great travel tips? You'll find those there too.